What's up, Simonics, and welcome to the first video of the new year. I hope you already had a good start. We're gonna start, as always, with a new topic, and that is the new Ionic version 6 accordion. This component is pretty cool. The setup is super easy, and it automatically comes with a lot of things out of the box. On top of that, we want to take a look at how we can customize it, because the CSS for this is a bit challenging. We're going to take a look at the properties that we can define, so how we can make it really ours, and also how we can create nested accordion groups, because it's really that easy. So if you want to check it out, link to the quick bin below this video, available for all Ionic Academy members. And if you're not yet a member, go check it out. IonicAcademy.com, my place to help you with everything Ionic. So let's dive into the new accordion component today. Alright, the only thing you need in order to use the new Ionic version 6 accordion is actually the latest Ionic version, or Ionic version 6 if you watch this somewhere in the future. So go ahead and install it with Ionic Angular latest if you don't have it, or start a blank new application, then we can dive directly into it. Now, the accordion is actually a pretty easy component. It has a few parts that we should take a look at. So it begins with the Ion Accordion group tag. This starts a group. And within that group, there are two important things. First, we have the Ion Accordion, which is an actual accordion. We will also see how to nest accordions, but let's just start with the basic setup. And within that accordion, we now have two slots that we can use. So we have a slot called header, and into the header you usually put an Ion item. Then you go ahead with the label, and then you set like languages or frameworks. That is the header part. Maybe we can already see this in action, and maybe we can also actually do this. No, I don't want a breakpoint. Yeah, that's what I wanted to see. So this is already the Ion accordion. We automatically get this changing icon out of the box. Now let's put a few items into the accordion, and we can do this by using another slot called content. So those are the two slots that we inject content into the accordion. We got the header slot and we got the content slot. And into the content slot we can now put a bunch of things. Let's just put a few items in here. Actually, these are frameworks, so I'm a bit messed up here. Okay, and we get this nice little accordion. Actually, I think we should be somehow able to also, I'm not the best at using the keyboard, but we should be able to control this with our keyboard as well. But so far, this is the basic setup, really. We got an Ion accordion group, and inside we got an Ion accordion. I think we could now also put this Ion accordion here, and let's say now we use languages. And then we should see we have two in that group. And we also see that if we expand one and then try the other one collapses. So if you have multiple accordions, you can control this with multiple true, but we want to talk about the settings a bit later, just as a quick information of how you could nest this as well. So now both are open at the same time, but we're getting a bit ahead of time. Let's go back to just one Ion accordion instead and focus on the styling, because that part is actually not that easy. So as we've seen, the Ion accordion consists of two slots. We can also check this out by taking a bit closer look at this. So we got this is the accordion group, here's the accordion. And the accordion now comes with two div elements. First one is the part header, and actually now it's the header expanded. So now if I collapse it, it is just header once again. And same for content, we got a part content, and this one is right now expanded, and now it's not expanded. And this is also the way how we style this. So we use those parts to inject styling. For example, we could use Ion accordion part content, and then we say something like padding 10 pixels and background color, whatever, really. Something like this. Now, the result is this, because we're not really styling the items. We're just styling this div element that we see in the slot. And same for the header. Now, if we do this for the header, we could do something like this as well. Let's do padding and perhaps a bit different color. And then we see we got the same styling for the header. Now, this is usually not really what you want. You really want to style those elements within the accordion. And to do this, we need a bit more complicated syntax. So let me copy this in because it's a bit of typing. And it looks like this. So Ionic Accordion, we're targeting the accordion. We're targeting both the expanding and expanded state. Doesn't matter too much, but while it is expanding, it has the expanding state. So if you want to have a smooth transition, you should already target that state as well. And then we want to target the ion item in the slot header. So this is now exactly this part here. And we changed the background color and the color. So let's see the result of this. And we don't see anything. It turned my, no, please don't do this to me. Okay, I'm not sure if the double quotes were the problem. The actual problem is that we're targeting the expanded state and this was just the default state. So if we toggle it, we can now see that we have a blue background and a white text. And we can also see that it already changes to blue during the expanding. So we could remove this and then it would just stay white until the expansion is finished. And same is not true for the content. We can style that exactly the same way. Once again, using this or just for reference, if you want to opposite, you could also use collapsed and collapsing for styling and then target the slot content. And inside this content slot, we want to set the item background color and the item color. And as a result, we get this amazing looking accordion that looks like could be on a homepage from like 98 or so. But it could actually be a cool styling these days once again, because everything gets modern again. Anyway, these are the ways you can style it. You can use either the overall part, but that's not targeting the inside element. If you really want more access to the item in the slot, the list in the slot, or the items, you have to use this slotted expression. Now, more things that we can take a look at for the accordion is controlling the accordion from code. Therefore, let's add two more buttons. One to close the accordion and one to toggle a section. And to actually toggle this section, we're going to give the Ion accordion a value. So that is used internally when the accordion group tries to collapse or opens something. So let's just say, what do we use? Frameworks in here. Let's implement two new functions, close accordion and toggle section. Okay, closing the accordion is actually pretty easy once we got access to the accordion. So let's add a view child, Ion accordion group. There we go. Accordion group, Ion accordion group. Come on, just do it automatically. Okay, cool. So now we want to, why do we see? Yeah, the buttons. By now it is open in the default state. The value of our selection is basically empty. So we also set this to an empty string and we can now use this selection. Actually, do we need that? I don't think we need it. So let's give this a try. If we want to toggle something, we set the value of the Ion accordion group to the value of the Ion accordion that we want to open. So in this case, we want to open the framework. So let's just set it to this value. And for the close one, we set the value to an empty string. Let's see. So toggle, it opens it. I can set it again, but the value for the Ion accordion group is now anyway frameworks, and close sets it back. And this, of course, now would work with the second accordion inside as well. So I could just throw in this one and call it languages. And I would say languages. And if I wanted to toggle that one, I could do it exactly the same way. So that would toggle this one. And closing would change it. Also, I could now change this. And now it's not closing, but opening the opposite. So there we go, and there we go. So everything that we've seen from code, from the HTML that automatically works the same from code. We can easily control this just by setting the value of the accordion group. I don't know if I'm a big fan of this or if I would like to have a more convenient method like close and open, but that's just the way it currently works. Now we've touched this in the beginning already. Right now I can only open one of the accordions inside an accordion group. If I wanted to change this, I could say multiple true, and then I would be allowed to open as many at the same time as I want. On top of that, there's more you can control. For example, you can control on the Ion Accordion both the toggle icon, which is the icon we see right here, and the toggle icon slot. So let's change this. And we see the item moves to the start slot now, and we have a different icon. Also, it automatically rotates still, so that part is working just as great. On top of that, on the Ion Accordion group, there's a setting for the expand mode. By default, it is, I think, compact. Let's see if this changes anything. No, it's the same, but there's also the mode inset. I think it's called inset, right? Is it called inset? Let's take a look. But I'm pretty sure the mode for the Ion Accordion group is called like that. So here's the documentation, blah, 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 properties, disabled, expand. Did I say expand? No, I didn't. Of course I didn't say expand. Okay, now it is the inset mode. The inset mode is basically displayed within a card. I don't know exactly why, but yeah, that's how it's possible. Really, I don't know if I want to have a card when I want to use the smaller mode. Not sure what's the thought process behind this, but anyway, it looks kind of cool, but I guess most of you will just use the default mode, which would be compact. So in that case, you actually don't need that setting at all. So let's just keep it like it is right here. And the last thing we want to talk about is nesting these things, because if you want to build a cool side menu, you could easily just throw in this into your side menu HTML, no problem at all. You could attach some listeners here to the different items, so then you could open the router links. Let me know if you want to see a video on this, on creating a side menu with an accordion. Definitely could be something interesting. But also in those cases, you might want to nest your accordion. So let's do this. For this, I'm going to remove the second one again because we don't really need it. We can also comment out the buttons and focus on this part. Now we have this slot content in which we can inject any kind of content. So let's change this like this, and let's remove the ion list for now. And now we're going to put something else into the content slot. And what we're going to put into the content slot is simply, well, another Ion Accordion, I would say. Let me bring this in. So there we go. Now I need to check that I'm closing everything. So now I would have the next accordion inside. I could have once again an Ion list. Just the same setup. It's completely just nested. Let's check it out. There we go. And I could toggle this. Okay, my styling is amazing in this application. I'm sorry if your eyes hurt. Let me just comment this out. It's ridiculous. We're gonna take a look at this. I now have the inset mode still. That's hurting my eyes as well. Let's just do it the most basic way. There we go. So now I could have multiple things under JavaScript here. Maybe in this case I want to put some padding to the inner element. That could actually work, but as we've seen, the inset just makes this a card. So yeah, I'm not sure if this makes things better. I guess you should just use margin to set these elements to the side. And again, I could just completely now copy this here, and instead of using a list for the content slot, I could put in one more time an accordion. So then I could go down 3 levels deep. No problem at all. There was a little problem with the beta version, but that got fixed quite quickly by Liam. Pretty amazing from the team. And now you can easily nest this. We could also have a tutorial on creating an accordion from JSON with multiple levels. That could be interesting as well. Perhaps that's something you want, or the side menu with the accordion. I think that could really be helpful. So Let me know if you want to see this in another tutorial, and otherwise, I hope you enjoyed. If you want more information about it, of course, also just check out the documentation about the accordion itself. Once again, with the customization, the header content, the CSS styling, remember the parts and the slots, and also the Ionic Accordion group. And keep in mind that you can easily nest them to create an epic UI. Alright, and that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this detailed view at the new component. We already saw the daytime component in the last video. Now we've covered the accordion. There are more components like the breadcrumbs, but that is just a small thing that you can easily add, but I think the accordion will be really helpful. So if you want to see this in another video, like in a combination with a side menu, or perhaps even in a desktop view with a drop down, I don't know if it's possible, but let me know if you're interested in this in the comments. So give it a try, update your application to Ionic version 6. It's really a great version, and I hope you enjoy the new accordion. So have a great week with that code, and I will catch you next week like always. So happy coding, Simon.